So what's going on, everybody? My name is Coach Homie, and welcome back to Bendy and the Dark Revival. Listen, before you come, I already know. We already did it. It's like the last episode was the ending. We did it. We played it. We beat it. We did everything. There was no more. So we thought. But if you guys also remember going through all the other episodes, I've said multiple times that I thought there was multiple endings, and I was correct. I was right, and it was kind of weird and cool to know that I was right, because there's 2 more endings that we have to do. One of them being very easy, just time consuming, and the other one, well, the other one is difficult and time consuming. It's both. I mean, it's crazy. The first one is called it's literally called the secret early ending. So,
probably some downstairs.
as she said that, and now we get the ability to stand up, but we're not going to do that. We're going to sit here and wait. Now, to get the secret early ending, what you're going to do is sit here for 20 minutes. 20 minutes and not hit stand up. Because if you stand up, well, then you have to play the game regularly. However, we're going to just sit here and wait for 20 minutes, and then you guys can see what the ending is.
Well,
There we go.
coffee's good and all, but this work's gotta get done.
Yeah.
Focus, Audrey, focus.
So there we go. Okay, it's a little ending, I think, because it's going to show the credits.
Yes!
There we go, yep. And then now we're back here to the main menu. That brings us to the other ending. The other ending is called the insanity ending. Insanity or insane, whatever, I mean, they're both the same thing, basically. Now, I'm not going to go through and do it because the way to get this ending is very long, tedious. It's kind of like the ruined security breach thing with the going through getting all the clean bots. But for this, you have to play the game. And if you guys remember the books of the Illusion of Living books that you can go through and collect, which I knew there was something with them because I went through before, and if you guys recall when I was in Wilson's area in the library, I picked one up all of a sudden. I was like, hey, what do you mean? I can pick this up? Why? I don't know. And now we do. For that is you need to collect 100 of them. Apparently there's 100 of them throughout the entire game. And if you pick up all 100 and then beat the game, a new cutscene will happen, and it will not be Audrey sitting there writing along and then looking over seeing Bendy there. It'll actually cut to Audrey in an insane asylum padded room, where her wearing a straitjacket laying on a bed in that room, and that just blew me away seeing it felt wrong. What the hell? But now here comes the other thing that I wanted to do for this video that I didn't actually see in the last episode, and that is the archives. The archives. If we go back to the first Bendy game, Bendy and the Ink Machine, the archives there was really cool. It gave us a little backstory of everything during the development process, and I enjoy when the creators actually go through and talk about that stuff. So let's go to the archives. Oh, and all of a sudden there's no sound except ink dripping.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's how we exit. Okay. I was wondering. Alright, this is the archives. The archives. Welcome to the archives. Bendy and the Dark Revival is filled with numerous characters that each had a critical role to play in the progression of the game. Here in the archives, you will learn a little bit about them in an up-close and personal way. Feel free to explore. Well, thank you, text on the screen. I'll definitely explore. So then what? Okay, so it's going to be like that. I like that. Okay. This room is huge, dude. So we got the Butcher Gang over there. We got Wilson and Audrey there. I'm going to save so what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to save the main cast here, the Bendys there and these 2 there for the last. However, I do want to read this guy first. Bendy, the iconic imp, was redesigned for Dark Revival to stand out a bit from his traditional cartoon appearance by giving him a suit of clothes. He posed some minor challenges, specifically creating a face that sported the classic Bendy eerie smile, but still managed to be heartwarming in the right conditions. He is a fan favorite, so his design had to be just right. During production, we originally envisioned Bendy to talk with a series of cute squeaks to contrast the dark, low voice of the ink demon. But this turned out to be very distracting, and the idea was scrapped pretty early on. Oh man, I would have loved to seen this guy speak, but in squeaks. Like, I mean, technically he does squeak when he walks, so that's probably what he could have done. But compared to the freaking spooky talking of these two over there, well, technically not him. I think him mainly just the ink demon himself. But all right, so let's go over here and let's.
Oh no!
I don't like that. Why is she there? Why is she? No. I don't like how her eyes are falling. All right, but the Butcher Gang. The Butcher Gang. Barley, Charlie, and Edgar. I'm sorry if I say their names wrong. I am terrible at reading names, and you guys should know this by now. The three original members of the Butcher Gang were formed from the ink machine, deconstructed by Alice Angel for body parts, and bond together to stay alive with sneak attacks on their prey. In Dark Revival, we meet our official fourth member of the gang, Carly, the ghost girl. Although when you begin to examine her closely, Carly appears to only be a shell, with perhaps someone inside. Alright, let's get up close and see this thing. Even though I don't like her. Yeah? That's true. I mean, because it's her. She's a ghost girl possessing her, so. Oh, the keeper's here. Okay. Oh, wow. Damn. I did like the design when they made the keeper. The Keepers, Wilson's deadly guards and scientists. They aren't perfect, but the Keepers will get the job done, no matter the cost. They are responsible for pressing the ink demon inside a smaller form, keeping his power sealed away, until Audrey came along and unknowingly changed the situation. The Keepers were visually designed to reflect the dangers and the evils of the ink machine itself. Faceless beings made of gears and wires, with no sense of morality. Ordered around like cattle, a creation living without purpose. That's true. As we saw, Wilson basically was in charge for these guys, and they didn't attack him, but anyone else, they just immediately went after him. What's over here?
Can I get an amen?
Oh my lord, it's the boy. Oh, we got these two. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I remember these two. Okay. I think this was the one that gave us the ability to, I think, what's it called? Flow? Like the TP? I think so. Porter. As the cycle was held in place with the influence of the ink demon held at bay, the cartoon world was able to grow and advance, creating such characters as Porter, a lost one who came to claim a new identity as an explorer. Porter was written with the knowledge that Dark Revival would feature a far more serious tone than the first game of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and his light-hearted innocence would help the player feel some warmth in this inky world of sorrow. Yeah, I mean, he was cool. I like Porter. He was pretty nice. And then got Heidi. Let's go Heidi. I think Heidi. That's how you say that. We'll go with it. It is believed that Heidi was spent. Oh wait, no, not was. It was has. It is believed that Heidi has spent some time in the pit, a present set by Wilson and the Keepers. It is unclear why, but most likely she was able to access places she shouldn't have. The experience in the pit changed her, as it does many, reverting her into a childlike state, longing for happiness again. That's upsetting. So basically, like, she was trapped in there for so long, or they put her there for so long, her brain went down, like she just reverted back.
Damn, boy, he's sick!
Sammy Lawrence, the famous music composer of the studio. Sammy Lawrence originally had a slightly larger role in the story of Dark Revival, but in a story already filled with so many characters, making them all play a meaningful part became a challenge. He was ultimately sidelined in favor for telling a more coherent storyline. Although it was interesting to note that Sammy Lawrence appears to have mastered the flow ability in Bendy and the Ink Machine long before Porter and Audrey could wield it. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we saw this guy literally go into walls and just disappear. Like, he literally just go, alright, gone, as we turn a corner. So, yeah, we'll go with that. He mastered it way before these guys. He was the typical, I did it before it was cool. kind of thing. So we got Amok. Amok, I think Lord Amok, ruler of the sewer cult. Lord Amok illustrates how the world of the Ink had continued to develop into different societies deep within the darkest places. Though he was weak in a fight, his name will simply never die.
Disgusting!
Oh, it's that. I freaking hate those things. I hate spiders, dude. Alice Angel, the self-appointed queen of the studio. Alice Angel is one of the most memorable faces in the Bendy world. Forever lost in a tide of insanity, she is an absolute delight to write for as a character. An angel with many layers. Time will only tell if the inky temptress will ever reappear. King Widow. Ink widows have begun to infest where the light grows darkest. Their king, the biggest and most feared, will only emerge from his nest when its young are threatened. Fair enough. Lurker or Steve. Oh, his name's Steve. Why the hell was I thinking Big Jim? I mean, definitely ain't no Slim Jim if... Kill me. Lurker or Steve, as he became to be known, was originally created as a brute-type enemy that would free roam the ways the Lost Ones do, but ultimately fell unnecessary as the random ink demon occurrences or encounters already fulfilled the role of putting in the player on edge while exploring previous traversed locations. In the end, the Lurker found a much better calling as an unlikely ally, effectively expanding him into more than just a typical enemy. That is true. We got to like see that he became more of a great ally instead of a very annoying enemy. I feel like if he was still that, but now we got the big boy here, Ship Ahoy Dudley. We're gonna go Dudley on this one. Dudley for 200. The demented invention of Wilson, created to serve the dual purpose of dethroning the Ink Demon in the cartoon world and also upstaging Joey Drew in the eyes of Wilson's father, Nathan Ark. Neither of these happened. Ship Ahoy Dudley is a mysterious sailor with his own eerie grin, similar to that of Bendy. Along with his sidekick, Crackle the Crab, it is unknown just what kind of cartoon adventures they would have had together. There's the posters. So those look like the cute ones, so let's save that. What's over here? Oh my god, the Cycle Breakers. Is there anything else around here? Oh shit! The boy! Oh, and Betty! I didn't see Betty over here actually. I think my eyes just aren't working today. Betty, a faithful maid among other things, to Wilson. Betty was an important character to the story of Dark Revival. As a failed experiment and someone relatively new to the cartoon studio, she was able to give a somewhat different point of view on the state of the world. We have purposely left it unclear if Betty was in on Wilson's plot to harvest Audrey, or if she was just a bystander. But behind her mask, there are still answers to be found. Yeah, that is like the biggest thing that was in my head also. It's like, who is Betty? Who is she behind the mask? Because there's a lot of people here that have like meaning. I mean, like Audrey, we got Wilson, I mean, hell, Bendy, Boris, everyone has some. Even really, everyone should. Like, and then we have Joey Drew, the memory, the man, the legend, the memory. Creating this version of Joey Drew was both an exciting and daunting process. It was clear from the start that Joey would be different from the one of the original Bendy and the Ink Machine game. This was a man with all the guilt from a past life, but without the experience to fully understand it. The real Joey Drew made many mistakes, but ultimately learned from them. This doesn't absolve him from his sins, but at the end of his life, he was able to help correct some of them and help fight against the darkness he created. Alright. That is nice. I'm very happy they added Joey in here. Like, we got to see him. I'm very happy that we got to. I mean, I feel like these guys, we can go with these guys, because that's like more of the action. So, we'll save the main man for last. Tom! Tom is Allison's silent protector, and the only Boris clone involved with the main story. Where is Boris the Wolf? Rumor has it, during the events of the game, Boris is experiencing a dark survival story of his own, which is referencing to the game Boris and the Dark Survival. And honestly, I was gonna play that game, but I don't know if I really want to. But it seems like it would be a fun game to play. I might have to check it out because I do have it. I just don't have it installed, I think. Now we have Allison. Allison, returning for another victory over the Ink Demon. Allison is always the voice of reason, a beacon of hope. Allison's design was carefully upgraded from the previous Bendy and the Ink Machine game to maintain her personality, but with more fidelity. The purpose of meeting Allison so early in the campaign was to introduce the player to a familiar face after the main introduction. At the start, Allison was able to serve as the motivating force for Audrey until the true plot kicked in later. Then we got the main man himself, Henry Stein, the original cycle breaker. Henry Stein is the ghost of a man who lost his purpose years ago, once fueled with finding a way to escape the tortures of the Ink Demon and finding his way home to his wife. Henry is now left with the cold reality of being a recreation of the person he thought he was, saved as a special surprise for the fans of Bendy and the Ink Machine game. Henry was strictly omitted from all public discussion of the character during the entire production, which spanned several years. Yeah, this game did take a little bit to make, but you know what? Hey, it was worth it in the end. But Henry returned with a very satisfying face reveal, which, honestly, that is probably the best way they could have brought out Henry. Especially any better way. So let's look here. This is like inside. So okay, so oh, we can actually see the painting. All right, bet. I want it though. I want the donut. No, you can't have it. Audrey, let me have it. Let me eat it. But Nathan Ark Sr. Nathan Ark was everything Joey Drew wasn't. He worked hard, built up from nothing, and never compromised his integrity. Joey had big dreams, but Nathan accomplished his own dreams. He and his wife Tessa raised the son with as much love and care as they could, despite Nathan's career pressures. Sadly, his son did not share Nathan's natural talent for business and enterprise. Okay, so now we got Audrey and Wilson. Let's go to Wilson. Wilson, haunted by the impossible shadow of Nathan Ark, Wilson sought to achieve something that would make his father proud. By luck, he stumbled upon the Ink Machine and was able to become the cartoon world's new master, holding the cycle in place. He continued his experiments that would not fully be realized until the Ink Demon was purged. However, unnaturally entering to and from the Ink realm has taken the toll on Wilson's physical being, slowly robbing him of his health. That explains why his eye is like completely just gone. I mean, everything else, I mean, he had a limp when we were seeing him, so yeah, makes sense. But yeah, I mean, screw you, Wilson, still hate you. Audrey, the unknowing daughter of an animation pioneer. Audrey has blocked out the memory of her past after losing her father, but his role in her life was not over. A talented animator and artist, her skills landed a job at Arkgate, not Nathan Ark. Oh my god, my brain just cannot work. Was it fate that led her to reunite with Joey Drew's machine, the machine of her birth? Or was it planned? That is very true. It honestly, fate is fucking crazy in this universe, because if it's true that she got, you know, lucky enough to do that, I don't, like, to basically get brought here. Why are we, what? Bendy cut out. Who put this here? Bendy, why you here? Alright, let's go with this motherfucker right here. Wilson, cartoon version. Wilson was a difficult character to balance. At first, the players are purposely led to believe that he is a one-note character, obviously evil with an over-the-top villain personality. But as the story progresses, we see other sides of the character, and the player becomes muddled with who this man really is. In one draft, Wilson was written as a servant of Nathan Ark Jr., a separate character at the time, but the story made far more sense when the two characters became one, eliminating a lot of needless narrative complexity. I would have loved to see how that would play out if they were literally two separate people. Like, what if at the end they both merged, like in the Ink Machine, and they became one person? That's what it became. I know, that's honestly probably what they had an idea for, but then they were like, nah, let's just make Wilson one person. Audrey, cartoon. Audrey is a kind-hearted rogue rouge. We're gonna go with Rouge. We'll go with that. Audrey is a kind-hearted rouge with courage, determination, some flaws, and a deep, dark past. To make our story work, we needed a newcomer to the cartoon studio world, and Audrey was the perfect fresh eyes to help the experience the adventure. From day one of production, we knew that if people didn't connect with Audrey by the end of the game itself wouldn't be successful. Fortunately, she turned out to be quite memorable indeed and stands out from the other members of the cast. She honestly does. Alright, let's go over here. Actually, wait, in the last one we could look at the ink machine. Can we look at this? We can. The ink machine, designed by Thomas Connor of the Jet Corporation, stolen by Joey Drew, retrieved by Artgate, and once again reclaimed by Jet. The ink machine's next adventure is a mystery. Well, actually, technically it isn't, because the next game is being in production. Don't remember the name of it because my brain is off right now, like the switch is turned on to off, but we'll move on, and I definitely believe that the next one's going to be awesome. I'm very hyped for the next game. I'm hoping it's as good as this one. And now we got the main ones here. The Ink Demon.
As the world of Dark Revival became more complex and established, we realized that the Demon's design needed a complete rethink to match our new tone. Previous versions of his appearance looked absolutely silly when placed into the worlds alongside the other characters. No amount of creepy music or screen effects could conceal how out of place he looked. The Ink Demon needed to look different than everything else in the world. And it showed the natural progression of the Ink Demon's evolution as Wilson held the cycle in place.
Which, that is perfect because, oh my lord, you can definitely tell this man got changed a lot. Like, you can actually see teeth now. His horn is like actually showing. You have these giant claws, and you can see the hooves. This man has literally become more of a demon, and I love how they did. I love that they did that. Now we got big boy. We got big chongass. We got Beast Bendy.
Returning for the climax of Dark Revival, Beast Bendy also was revisited with the mindset of making him far more powerful and beastly. Traditionally, in most horror games, they tend to build to a point to where the main villain becomes a final form monster as a final boss. It's practically a trope. Our idea, what if you got to play as that final form instead?
And that was perfect. I'm happy that they did that because that was fun as hell. I seriously thought I could still die though, because even though I didn't see a health bar, I seriously thought I still could die. I was worried. Eventually we could get in this. I think that is everything. Which makes me sad. I enjoy almost any time I basically finish a series, it makes me sad, especially if it's like 10 episodes deep, kind of like how every series has been so far, because that means that stories end, but it means we get to move on to other things. But enough talk. I'm going to leave the video here, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new around here, why not subscribe and stick around with the little notification bell so you get notifications whenever I go live or whenever I upload, because come on, you don't want to miss anything when I do. Come on. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes.